Okay, let's start the actual official Q&A session right now. We are again talking about the tour video at sonlight.com/tour.html. I saw a first question I'll just take right now, and that was, did I improve my video skills outside of Sonlight? Yes, I did. I actually went to school at Biola University, and I got a degree in motion picture production. So I have a background in motion picture production, and I have produced the science DVDs, Discover and Do, and Mathtacular series here at Sonlight. And I also produced a bunch of other videos. I do a lot of recording. I'm recording this one right now, which is pretty impressive since I'm sitting here. So recorded, done a bunch of recording, and we wanted another tour of Sonlight. And I created one back in 2007 where I basically walked around the building and said, this is marketing, this is product development, this is the warehouse, this is where we ship books. And it was kind of boring. So as we talked about doing a tour for 2010 for our 20th anniversary, I wanted to make something much cooler. I wanted something that was fun. I wanted something interesting. And so I had seen Cloverfield, which I'm not recommending that you do, but I had seen it and I thought, now that is a great way to tell a story with video where it's actually just footage and you can kind of get this feel. It was going to be perfect for what I wanted to do. So I modeled it off of Cloverfield, and so it was codenamed Sonlight Field for a long time. And then I did, then I rewrote it with Sonlight Field Tour was ultimately what I gave it. So yes, my film school background gave me the opportunity to work on something like this. Watching other movies helped me get some ideas for this film, and I wanted it not to be boring. So that's what it was. Okay, so please answer your questions now. If I don't see it, ask it again after I stop talking from the next one. Will there be a next episode to the Sonlight Field Tour? I don't think so. My favorite part of making the video was just doing it. I mean, I just laughed. My favorite part, honestly, in the end, was the credits. Because of how they fit with the ending of the film. So I loved putting together the credits with some music that I had composed and put together, and then some sound effects and all that. So my favorite part was working on the credits after the chaos sequence at the end, and that just, man, it makes me smile every time that I watch it. That was my favorite part. I did actually edit the video. Sonlight Field Tour is actually edited quite a bit. It's down to just under 10 minutes. I shot about 50 minutes worth of footage. It was cut in such a way so it didn't look edited. That's what I wanted. I wanted it to look like we had just set up a camera, recorded, and moved on. So the fact that it doesn't look like it was edited is perfect. Thank you. What's it like working for my parents? Actually, I was hired independent of my parents. Now, nepotism probably played a little bit into this, but it's a blast. I love working at Sonlight. And I love making videos like this and Mathtacular and things like that. That's been a blast. I use Final Cut Pro right now for editing, but I've heard Vegas is fantastic. I edited a Premiere in college prior to frying a computer after a 45-minute documentary. I can't comment on Mathtacular 4 except for that I'm working on it. Cough. I shot Sonlight Field over 12 different days. I probably spent a week editing it. I'm not sure actual hours, but just whenever I had time. How did I do the special effects? Some of them are digital. Some of them are just opening the iris of the camera. Some of it is dropping paper on top of my camera, doing some shaking of the camera, that kind of thing. Just a lot of editing. And that was a ton of fun to do. I had never done a digital explosion before, so blowing out the window was a totally new experience. I used some Photoshop, I used some motion, I used some elements that had already been created, mixed those all together to make this explosion, added some camera shake after the fact, and then sound effects. Sound effects help a lot. There's some stuff that falls over in the background, and I actually used a tree ripping up by its roots and falling over as one of the sounds, so that was good. I have actually thought about writing a videography elective for Sonlight. Haven't started that yet. I'm really busy and working on other things. But we do have the digital flatline forums for students, and I mod those and answer questions about media production for students. So if your students are on the student forums, head on over to the digital flatline one, and I'm there to answer questions and try and help in any way I can. Okay, was the customer service lady actually crabby about being in the video? Carla is fantastic, and she agreed to be in my video, rejecting me for being in the video. I tried to give people their own personalities. I tried to let people write their own bits for who they are, what they want to say, to give it a really personable feel, who they really are. So Carla really doesn't like being on video or being part of my projects, but she does it anyway because she's a trooper, and that is fantastic. And that's really what it's like working here at Sonlight, is just how wonderful people are to put up with my crazy ideas and the things that I do, but also the way that everybody's totally open and willing to help each other. And I really appreciate that, working here at Sonlight, that people work together and bond together. And we really do have a lot of great relationships here. We're friends and buddies here, so it's good. Yes, I made the pages for Fox News and CNOM, so I tried to, poke at both sides as best I could. I don't watch the news much, so yes, I made those pages, created the videos, all that stuff. So no one was hurt at the White House. That was stock footage that I used and then added an explosion later. Yes, everybody on the floor is okay. Everybody who was bleeding, that makeup job was done by my wife, Brittany. She's fantastic. She's been helping me make films since I started film school. And yeah, so she's really good. Everybody is fine. That was flour and a bunch of other cool little makeup tricks to make people look destroyed. What video camera did I use? I used a Canon XL-H1 for Sonlight Field. Right now I'm recording this thing using a Canon GL2. So yeah. Wow. So our chat system just went totally haywire. Sorry about that. We're hanging out here for a while. It's kind of hard to have Q&A without a lot of questions. And I'm not going to start the giveaway until chat's back up because we're relying on chat to do our giveaways. Hey, there's some people. Awesome. Okay. So yes, I made the video funny on purpose. That was the goal. Okay, you guys are back on, don't worry. My degree at Biola is in motion picture production. Wow, it's going fast. Woo. I used a Canon XL-H1. Do I plan on making Christian films in the future? That was one of my original goals. I actually love helping people produce Christian films. So that's why I help out in any way I can, helping with producing things, helping people get stuff. Where did I get the video of the boat getting eaten? That is stock footage of a boat going under Golden Gate Bridge, and then some stock footage of a geyser in Yellowstone that I superimposed together and made it eat the boat. It was a quick hack job. So yeah. Is it fun to make a film? I love making films. Will Justin be in any more videos? I don't know. I made my first video when I was 10-ish. My parents got me a Hi8 video camera when I was 13, I believe, and I was ecstatic. I used it so much that eventually it fell apart because I was shooting so much on it. Why wasn't I in the video? Actually, I am in the video at the very end. I run across the screen to help a fallen coworker, and then end up dragging Lindsay out of the frame. I wasn't trying to push the envelope making this movie. I just wanted something that was fun and turned out a little bit edgy. I wasn't trying to be edgy. I was just trying to be funny and great at the same time, interesting and fascinating. So yeah. Hardest part of making the video was definitely the end shot where everything is collapsing. That took some choreography. We took 5 different takes. I set off the fire alarm 5 times here at Sonlight. Had to get everybody to run at the right place. My wife's throwing stuff on top of my camera. I had to drop my camera at the right time. That was the hardest part. And then doing the special effects afterward with the explosion coming through the glass and all that stuff, that just took time, and that's what that was. Did I get negative feedback? I've gotten a little bit, trying not to. Did you have something special on a camera that you can drop? No, I just dropped my camera. I tried to be as gentle with it as I could, but I just dropped it. I'm sorry about freaking out your daughter with the fire alarm. It was loud. And it was loud. It's loud here when the fire alarm goes off. How did I safely drop it? I set it down as carefully as I could while still bouncing. It was scripted. I had everybody write their own blurbs and then just let them go off of that. So we didn't follow a script to the T. I let people go, but yes, I wrote a complete script with what scenes follow what, where people go, what's happening in all those different sequences. Did I show it to Sonlight first? Yes, I did. I got it approved because I didn't want to bother too many people. Yes, Sonlight really does pray together every day. We have a large group session once a week here in this room, actually, where everybody gets together. And then we have smaller groups throughout the week that get together to share prayer needs, share things that we've read on blogs, seen on the forums, and then just pray for things that people have submitted. So yes, we really do pray for you guys, and we consider that a huge privilege. It is fantastic, and I'm really grateful. Core videos we've talked about, not sure what we'd say about them. My favorite book at Sonlight, man, I love Till We Have Faces. I love Gamage Cup. I love a lot of different books, but those two I really like. This is our first venture into live broadcasting. We did a test shot type thing with Sarita presenting at a large group prayer meeting a few months ago, I think. But this is our first time trying that. My mom really does say "somebody save me" just about every time I shoot with her. Actually, all the sound effects I already had in one of my sound effects programs, so none of them were particularly hard. I just had to mix them all together and stuff, so that just took time. Sound takes time, especially since I'm not so good at it. I got a degree in general motion picture production, so whenever I have to actually start doing really technical things, it gets a little fuzzy for me, so sound's one of my weaker areas. I really like working on the student forums and helping kids out. Sometimes I don't think that they know what they're asking, and I don't really know how to get them to ask, so it goes up and down as far as how helpful I feel like I'm being. I've actually recently started trying to get the questions to be really about how do I make better media and not how do I fix my iPod. But I really enjoy, and it's a blast being able to encourage kids in making media. What do I do when I'm not making videos? I blog for Sonlight, sonlightblog.com. You can find me there. I handle web content. I'm part of new initiatives. I basically have my fingers in a whole lot of stuff. So make a lot of videos, do a lot of blogging, social media. If you've got a blog, I'd love to read it. So tons and tons of things that I'm working on here. Mostly web content stuff, social media stuff, and then whatever other cool things I can get involved in. So that's what I try and do.